Hello friends, welcome to our channel Sukun FM English. We are here to listen story Secret Son-in-Law Shadow King. Today we listen episode number 54. Let's begin the story. If you enjoy the story, please share the story, like the story and comment in below comment section also. Let's begin the story episode number 54. Samar and Kiara started eating to oneself. Then a cold voice from the behind was heard. Hey, isn't he is the elder son of our Bhardwaj family? He has never eaten cake before, poor guy. Young Master Vivaan Bhardwaj come to Samar with a look of sarcasm and contempt. The Bhardwaj family had no feelings for Samar, as his parents had disappeared since childhood and he had a living abroad. He was the eldest son of the Bhardwaj family. He was to inherit the Bhardwaj family property upon his return. Naturally, the Bhardwaj family disliked him. Hearing this sarcastic voice, Samar looked up and saw a short-haired, handsome young man. I saw a man coming towards me and a sharp nose and wicked expression in his eyes. He was not a good man. This short-haired young man was none other than Vivaan Bhardwaj, also known as a young master Vivaan. Kiara had already told Samar about him, so he recognized him at a glance. Samar did not have any friendly feelings towards the Bhardwaj family. He furrowed his eyebrows and a little said to young Master Vivaan, You did not brush your teeth this morning, did you? Young Master Vivaan had a look of doubt on his face. He did not understand what Samar meant. So he stared at Samar angrily and said, Yes, I brushed. What do you mean? Samar smilingly slightly and said in a slightly raised voice, Your mouth stings. So you probably don't brush your teeth this morning. Hearing what he said, young Master Vivan's face turned red with anger. There was so much commotion after that Summer was insulting her. Suddenly a snoreful voice came. Ha ha! Young Master Vivan, he has hurt you too. I insulted you. It was none other than young Master Ishan. He had come with young Master Karthik and heard Summers laughing at young Master Vivan. Just then, young Master Ishan's come out loudly. He started laughingly. Young Master Vivan thought he was being mocked. A slightly dissatisfied look on his face, he stared angrily at young Master Ishan and said, Young Master Ishan, what do you mean? Seeing young Master Vivan getting angry, young Master Ishan smiled and explained, Don't get angry, young Master Vivan. Young Masters Karthik and I have to been insulted by this man. He had insulted me. His tongue is very sharp and he can't insult people without abusing them, insulting you. Suddenly, the beautiful girl standing next to young Master Vivan said in surprise, Brother, so this guy talked back to you too. This girl has a pretty face, skin as white as buff and wore lipstick. She was slender and certainly fit the descriptions of a somewhat glamorous beauty. Of course, she was very less in comparison to Kiara. She was the sister of young Master Ishan Mehra and current girlfriend of young Master Vivan, Liska Mehra. Now, when her brother and boyfriend were insulted, she also got a little angry. Liska Mehra extended her right hand, pointed at Samar and said angrily, Brother, this boy has dared to insult you. You should teach him a lesson. Seeing Liska's Mehra pointing at him and with her hand Samar furrowed and a little hatred was visible in his eyes. He also scolded Liska and said, I get very angry if someone points a finger at me. Keep your dirt hands away from me. Liska's Mehra Beautiful's face was full of arrogance and contempt. She said angrily, "Hmm, even if I finger you, what will you do to me? Summer smiled coldly and winked at Iliska in a deliberate high voice and said, It is not your fault that you look ugly, but stopping scarring people, you look so ugly that not only humans, but even plants and trees will get scared of you. Liska's Mera face changed after hearing his words. There was a glimpse of anger in her eyes. She shouted angrily at Summers and said, "How dare you call me ugly? To say girls love their looks and hate those who call them ugly." Iska Mehra gets angry when Summer calls her ugly. Summer continued to taunt and to anger Iliska's Mehra said, Someone told me that you look exactly like a dinosaur. After seeing you, I finally realized what a dinosaur looked like. Iska Mehra could not compete with Summer tongue at all. To do so would simply mean inviting trouble. Then Iliska looked at Ishan and said, Brother, he has insulted me. Teach him a lesson for me. She knew that she could not defeat Summer herself. So he wanted to her brother to take revenge for her insult. Young Master Ishan warned with a cold smile. Samar, mind your language. Otherwise, don't blame me for bad mouthing you. This boy was calling his sisters ugly in front of a huge crowd. It was like a slap on his face. Samar smiled slightly and said, Oh, young Master Ishan, I remember when you were in Agarwal industry, you said that if I attended a charity event, you would oblige to me. Now that I am here, you can oblige. His face was full of arrogance. Young Master Isan tried to warn him. He was very innocent and soon forgot the encounter at Agarwal industry. He thought that this was done to teach him a lesson. It was not enough. He should punish him. Hearing Samar's words, young Master Isan's face changed and he turned red with anger. He had actually said something similar in Kiara's office. If Samar managed to get an entry in the charity event, he would oblige to Samar. But there were so many people around, he could not oblige naturally. He was one of the four young masters of Indore city. He could not rise, losing her reputations. Samar smiled sarcastically. His eyes filled with hatred. He laughed a little and said, Haha, they all call you young Master Ishan. I think they should call you shameless Ishan. He hated people who could not admit their mistake. Ishan did not even have to most basic thing, honestly. He actually used the name of young Master Ishan as a disgrace. I made fun of it. Suddenly, a flirtatious voice came. Hey, young Master Ishan, did you say you have going to apply? Later, a long-haired man with flirtatious and handsome eyes walked in. Looking at the flirtatious man, young Master Ishan's face showed a bit of disgust. Ishan said with a cold smile, Young Master Gaurav, I have told you many times before that you have nothing to do with my affairs. The hatred in his eyes became even more clear. Although they were four young masters of the Indore city, but young Master Ishan and young Master Gaurav were enemies of each other, and the relationship between them was very bad. Young Master Gaurav smiled charmingly and said, Oh, I think that shameless Ishan shoots you. A hint of sarcasm flashed in his eyes. He quickly came to Samar and said, Hi, I am Gaurav Verma. I hope we can work together. We can become friends. Samar smiled lightly and said with some curiosity, What do you want to be friends with me? Do you want it? In her perceptions, the four young masters of Indore city were all arrogant scoundrels. Young Master Ishan, young Master Karthik, young Master Vivaan were all very arrogant. Then this young Master Gaurav, why did you want to be friends with him? Young Master Gaurav smiled and extended his right hand, gesturing for Samar to shake hands and said, They say, you are young master. You are Master Ishan's enemy. So, you are my friend. Samar also smiled lightly and said, You are absolutely right. The enemy's enemies is a friend. It happens, and saying this, Samar shook hands with Gaurav. Young Master Gaurav had skins as smooth as girl, needless to say. Young Master Gaurav was young Master Ishan's enemy. Since he was young Master Ishan's enemy, he was naturally Samar's ally. Young Master Ishan smiled and laughed at the two of both of them. Whew, a girl and a tramp. You two look quite a match. Hearing young Master Ishan's calling him a girl, young Master Gaurav's face turned dark, a flash of coldness flashed in his eyes. He stared at him angrily, said, Young Master Ishan, who do you call a girl? Gaurav and Ishan were deadly enemies and had a very bad relationship. They used to fight each other every time. When they met, they would laugh and attack each other. Young Master Ishan mercilessly taunts young Master Gaurav with a cold smile. While hitting him, he said, I don't say anything wrong. I have heard that you have some hormonal problem. Yes, that's why you look like a girl. Young Master Ishan stared up. The deep wound in young Master's Gaurav's hurts. Young Master Gaurav got angry and come to teach a lesson to young Master Ishan. Young Master Gaurav's mother had suffered a serious injury while she was pregnant and this resulted in the fetus getting affected. So when he was born, he looked very much like a girl. He was sensitive, due to which everybody used to tease him by calling him a girl. Considering that an extra sensitive person is considering a nameless person. Young Master Gaurav felt that this was the biggest punishment for him. But now, young Master Ishan has revealed the deep wound in his heart in front of everyone. He was very angry, so much so that he felt like killing young Master Ishan. Seeing the attacking, young Master Gaurav, young Master Ishan's have a gold smile, clenched his fist and said, getting ready to fight. If you want to fight, so look, I am ready. Young Master Ishan used to practice martial art and he was a level 1, stage 2, and he was certainly not scared of young Master Gaurav. What was happening in the next episode? Stay tuned with Sukun FM English. If you enjoy the story, please like the story, share the story, and comment in below comment section also.